demonstrate this project here, which, like all realistic forensic projects, involves big files and it's really slow. So what I already did really was just download this evidence file, and I also increased the RAM on my virtual machine to half the total available RAM, which in my case is, this is the fake malware infecting it. Anyway, so, all right, so I've got this file. I need to unzip it, but first I want to verify the hash. Now I could use HashCalc if you're using the machine I gave you, which has this program, but if you don't have that program, then you can use PowerShell. You don't need this program anymore in modern versions of Windows. PowerShell will do for MD5 and SHA-1 and SHA-256, and 7-zip will do for CRC32. So, here's my PowerShell, and I would like to make the window a little smaller. There we go. So I'm going to go into Downloads. All right. And now the name of the file is Android image. And let's get rid of this nonsense. All right. So Android image, if I do a dir, and there it is, Android image 2. That's it, Android image 2. Okay, so to do the hash value, the MD5 will be fine. So I will get file hash. I think it's path, Android image, and then algorithm, MD5. That should do it. And I choose MD5 because it's faster. And in the past, I would worry that MD5 is not secure and I should use SHA-512, but I've learned it doesn't matter. It's good enough for this kind of verification. And you see, it should be 85E37, and it is 85E37. So good, my file is intact. That's important before you waste your time unzipping it. So now we need to unzip it. So I'll go here, and there it is, right-click, and I want to use 7-zip, which Microsoft now hides on the More Options page just to annoy us. And I can now do 7-zip, extract to a folder. All right. And with a lot of RAM, hopefully this will move right along. It is moving right along. That's nice to see. All right. Only a few seconds to unzip that file. Very nice. And it's telling me it's not a GZ archive, it's just a tar archive. Well, I don't know what it is, whatever it is, I'm using it. Perhaps I put the wrong file extension on it. Anyway, it contains the data you need, and 7-zip does unzip it. Even if I didn't use quite the right command to create it, which is what I guess is true. Is it done? I think it'll close when it's done, right? Cannot create some links, okay. Griping about stuff. Are you done? I think I'll just hit close. All right, here's a folder, and in that folder, there's a data folder, and in there should be all the data from the phone, and yep, there we go, all kinds of folders. All right, this is good. So downloads, Android image 2.tar folder, it's in there. So now, I should be able to run it with Autopsy. Let's give it a shot. And I'm hoping with more RAM, Autopsy will launch faster. We'll see. I got to just create a new case, and then logical files, and go to the data folder. Okay? Ooh, look at that. I think that was much faster. Of course, last time it was doing a big download at the same time, which I thought would not matter, but maybe it did. However, the way this machine was acting, I think the real problem was lack of RAM. So giving it more RAM usually makes it snappier. Oh yeah, much snappier. That was like 10 seconds, and before it was like several minutes. Okay, new case. Okay, Android. That'll do. Next. And I don't think I really need to put anything here. All right. Oh yeah, it's much happier with 8 gigs of RAM. I don't care about your stinking backup. All right. Server did not respond. Yeah. I remember there was some error message involved. There's some Autopsy is like a big bundle of tools, and some of them are not working. Doesn't really matter. The ones I need are working. Same thing's true of Windows. Windows has hundreds and hundreds of services, and always a lot of them are broken, and you don't notice or care. If you go into the event log, you'll find many errors on every Windows machine. Well, sort of wonder why Autopsy takes so long just to open an empty container. I don't really know what it's doing. This is what's doing. It's timing out for things that are failing. That explains it. Keyword search service. Okay. That would make sense. Well, hopefully it's going to open a case. Just checking to see if it's dead or if it's still working on something. I don't think I always saw those errors here. Runtime broker test. 100% CPU. Autopsy getting 49%. 72%. Okay. So Autopsy is doing something. And it's got using a lot of memory. Oh, look at that. It's that's less than 1 gig of memory. But there are other services. Yeah, okay. All right. It is supposedly doing something. All right, it's 6:59. I'll give it till 7:03. And if it hasn't accomplished something by then, I'll reboot the machine. Not sure if these errors are important. I'm used to seeing some errors in Autopsy, but not those particular ones. Oh, good. It is moving. All right, good. So, next. Okay, it's logical files. Next. Now find my downloads. Nope, not in libraries. All right, how do I get to downloads? There they are. Okay. Android image.tar. Data, that's what I want. Okay, select. Okay. Now, next. Now, here's where I can save time by not turning on the unimportant stuff. The only stuff I want is Android Analyzer A-Leap and nothing else. So, there it is. Good. By the way, I do not know why there are two Android analyzers. Might be fun to try them both, but this is the one I used before. It works. Another thing, when you use open source tools, it's really just an amalgamation of command line tools written by different people and just sort of thrown together. And they may have different properties. Like, I was talking to a student last night who was doing this online cyber something game, and they had a memory dump, and she used Autopsy to analyze the memory dump, and it runs memdump to list all the files you have in memory, but it doesn't extract the files. So they warn you it's sort of experimental, its ability to support volatility memory dumps, and it's not perfect. And I'm sure that's true here. There's two different Android tools included here, and I don't really know the difference. But I imagine they both do whatever their authors thought were important, and they both have their bugs and such. Same thing's true of commercial tools. They conceal it better, though. They make everything look the same, make it look like it's all working together, but everything has bugs and limitations. Anyway, it is supposedly working, and I see it is. If I go down here, see Android Analyzer is running, it's at 0%. So I can finish this, and now I just have to wait for this thing in the corner to move. But it is moving. Let me go check and see if there are comments in the Twitch. Nothing new. Okay, good. All right. All right, well, maybe I'm not going to wait for this. I can just show you what the result will be, because now all you're going to do is find some flags. So if I go out to here, all right. So anyway, in the fullness of time, it will finish, and you'll be able to find the telephone call. I made the take telephone call, or I made one when I made this image, and so you'll find some data here. That's all I'm going to show. So you'll see when it analyzes it, it finds communication accounts, phones, installed programs, messages, web accounts, web search, you know, the same kind of stuff you'd find on a desktop machine or an iPhone. All right, that's all I wanted to show you. I think that's enough. No need to wait for that slow stuff to happen. I'm going to stop this recording.